Balancing the ties between the US and China, Pakistan is no stranger in being caught in global cold and hot wars. It has generally suffered seriously in the long term by taking sides, even if initially the momentary economic and political gains appeared attractive. The most glaring example of that was the fallout when Pakistan was a principal player in the US efforts to counter the Soviet occupation of Afghanistan. A more balanced approach in dealing with the Soviet invasion would have been protected the country from its disastrous consequences. But this is wisdom in hindsight, and we also have to recall as to what were the compelling and motivating circumstances that became the basis of these decisions. The conflict of global dominance between China and the US is influencing Pakistan's financial security. If China succeeds, it could become the new chapter of global trade. But if US succeeds, it could frustrate China's push for becoming the economic superpower. China invests in Pakistan's infrastructure, providing benefits to Pakistan. This falls under China's Belt and Road Initiative, the way they are trying to build up their trade network around the globe. Belt and Road Initiative is considered as a threat by US, as China is gaining around the GDP. However, US still has the largest GDP. In 2013, China passed US by becoming the largest exporter. China is giving huge loans that some countries can't pay back, also called as debt trap diplomacy. This way, China is gaining power over these countries. CPEC will give China as access to Indian Ocean, but Pakistan is struggling economically and is expected to ask the bailout amount from IMF. US is the largest contributor of IMF, will help Pakistan to pay debt to China. If the IMF does not help Pakistan, then the US will lose an ally. What US can do is ask IMF to pay conditions for Pakistan for the bailout. Restrict them from borrowing from China. In this way, Pakistan can pull out itself from certain projects. If Pakistan accepts the bailout offered by US, then the US will be able to discredit the Belt and Road Initiative of China. But if Pakistan continued borrowing from China, it will become the center of global trade. Pakistan is running low on foreign reserves, leading to a battle between the China and the US. The question, however, arises, will any other country or countries be able to replace China in meeting the US needs in the near future and produce products or systems at the same cost and at same large scale? More significantly, by taking these protective measures, including restrictive legislation, the US will be abandoning the very functional policy of free trade that itself has been rightly claiming to be the trigger of its phenomenal economic and technological progress. Will this also not justify other nations to ignore the present trade practices and resort the international trade system? Rising these concerns are necessary so that the global trading system that had developed over the years, despite the certain legacies that have worked for the benefit of the world. Furthermore, in the past fight of economic supremacy or to the status by nations unfairly had given rise to serious cold or even hot wars, which should be avoided. In this confrontational global scenario, Pakistan has been treating carefully. It maintains a strong strategic and economic ties with China and has been able to establish a cooperative working relationship with Washington, which lately has shown signs of promise. In this military leadership, the Foreign Office have played a key role. America, through its withdrawing from the region physically, but would be closely monitoring the situation in Afghanistan, in which it realizes the importance of Pakistan. The Biden administration also seems to be reviewing its relationships with Iran and the nuclear agreement that the former President Trump set aside. The hostility Indian towards us is not the interest of the US, as it only pushes it closer to China and promotes instability in the region. The US-China rivalry would adversely affect the global economy, and Pakistan could be one of its major victims if Chinese projects were to slow down. In that scenario, the possibility of Indians getting emboldened and stepping up its hostility towards us cannot be ruled out. Pakistan has faced similar situations in past and is well prepared to counter these potential dangers. Earlier, it was in the realm of conventional and nuclear defense capabilities that major powers competed. This race still continues, rather discreetly, on land, air, sea, and space, as technology takes strides with its inherent dangers, but the real competition and focus of major powers is mainly on trade, commerce, economic supremacy, and dominance.